idea.
To make Mrs. Withers mad at me.
It's only a matter of what's fair, dear. You have better grades than that little foreign student.
It's not foreign, Mommy. Eduardo is Hispanic, and he's a good student, too.
Not as good as you are. Do you mind?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. The award is for Outstanding Student of the Year. You have straight A's, perfect attendance.
But, Mommy...
No buts about it, dear. Is that little Mexican in the talented and gifted group? No.
Just a stupid plaque. I don't need another. I got one last year.
And the year before, and the year before that, and you deserve it again this year. I think maybe this should be a private conference.
Mommy, please, please don't embarrass me.
I would never do that. Who's your best friend?
You are.
Who loves you more than anything on God's green earth?
You do, Mommy.
That's right. Now you run along. I'll meet you on the playground.
Yes, Mommy.
Jessica Ann.
Yes, Mommy?
Posture.
Yes, Mommy.
Good afternoon, Mrs. Sterling. I hope you don't mind if I continue with the decorating. The Spring Festival means so much to the children.
We did have an appointment for a conference.
Mrs. Sterling, we had our conference for the quarter just last week. I would like to get these decorations up for the children. So if you don't mind, we'll talk as I work.
I don't mind. You're presenting the plaque at the PTA meeting tomorrow evening.
That's right.
You know that my daughter deserves this award.
Your daughter's a wonderful student. So's Eduardo Melendez.
Are his grades as good as Jessica Ann's?
You know, actually, Mrs. Sterling, that's none of your business. Neither is how I arrive at who the year's outstanding student is.
Really?
Really? Eduardo faces obstacles that your daughter does not. You know, when someone like Eduardo excels, it's important that he receive recognition.
Because he's a Mexican? You're punishing my daughter because she's white and comes from a good family.
Oh, well, now, I don't look at it that way. When a person of color, like Eduardo...
You're not going to give this award to Jessica Ann, are you?
It's been decided.
There's no name on the plaque. It's not too late for you to do the right thing.
It is too late. What are you teaching your daughter with behavior like this as an example?
Well, what are you teaching her? By taking something that's rightfully hers and giving it to somebody just because he's a person of color.
Oh. I have nothing more to say to you, Mrs. Sterling. Good afternoon.
Is something the matter?
Yes, there's been a terrible accident. When I went to see Miss Withers, she was lying on the floor. She'd been up a ladder, decorating the room for you children.
Oh, Mommy. Oh, no.
She must have been a very thoughtful teacher.
Mommy, you make it sound like she's...
Dead. Yes, she's dead, dear. I think she may have broken her neck. Well, I stopped by the office and asked the secretary to phone for an ambulance. I think maybe we should wait until help comes. Don't you?
Yes, Mommy. Why did they call for an ambulance, I wonder? Mrs. Withers was dead. What good would the doctor do?
People die, dear. It's natural.
What's so natural about falling off a ladder?
Is that a smarty tone?
No, Mommy.
Because I don't think Mrs. Withers would like you speaking to your mother in a smarty tone.
No, Mommy.
Anyway, people fall off ladders all the time. All the time. More accidents happen at home, you know, than anywhere else.
Well, Mommy, can we go now?
No, dear. I'll have to speak to these gentlemen first.
Spellman?
March, what are you doing here? This isn't a murder investigation.
We'll get to that later. Where's our witness?
They asked Mommy questions for a long time. Lieutenant March seemed grouchy. I don't think he wanted to be there.
Well, why don't you answer them?
I didn't mean to eavesdrop, but Lieutenant March had a loud voice, and it got louder.
So you didn't speak to Mrs. Withers at all?
How could I? She was lying on the floor with her neck broken.
But you had an appointment.
Yes, a parent-teacher conference.
Were you on time for the conference?
I'm never late, Lieutenant. Is there anything else?
No. Not right now, anyway.
Thank you, Lieutenant. You have my address, my number.
Oh, yeah. I got your number.
Let's go, dear. Your Aunt Beth is waiting dinner.
So, what's your story?
Our house on Rockwell Road was really cool. We lived here for 2 years, ever since Mommy married Mr. Sterling. Mr. Sterling was really old. 60, the paper said when he died. But Mommy loved him a lot. He had an insurance agency and was kinda rich. Or anyway, we always kinda thought he was. I heard Mommy tell Aunt Beth that Mr. Sterling wasn't as rich as he pretended to be. Plus, a lot of his money and property and stuff went to his kids by those other 2 witches he married. Oh, only Mommy didn't say witches. Aunt Beth was really cool. We'd been seeing a lot of her since she divorced Uncle Bob and moved to that apartment.
Oh, you poor dear, you poor dear. Did she see?
No. I discovered the body. Jessica Ann was on the playground.
Oh, thank God. Do either of you even feel like eating?
Not really.
Jessica Ann, your aunt came all the way over here at the last minute to fix us some supper.
Oh, don't worry about that.
It smells like spaghetti.
That's what it is. I made a big bowl of Italian salad, too.
Can I just go to my room, please?
No. No, a little unpleasantness is not going to stand in the way of good nutrition.
Please, if she doesn't want...
Now you march in there, young lady.
Yes, Mommy.
Your salad, too.
Yes, Mommy.
Don't you ever contradict me in front of my daughter again. You know how impressionable young girls can be.
But I didn't eat much. All I could think of was Mrs. Withers. And how nice she was. And how she was dead now.
Mind if I come in? Don't feel bad about crying. It's good to get it out of your system.
Do you think Mrs. Withers had any children?
Probably. Maybe even grandchildren.
Do you think I should write them a letter?
Why, dear?
To tell them what a good teacher she was.
I think that's a wonderful idea.
I'll write it tonight and add their names later. Aunt Beth, do you remember when Mr. Sterling wanted me to call him Daddy?
Well, sure, hon. What about it?
I told him that I didn't want to call him that. And I'm afraid it might have hurt his feelings. And now he's dead.
I'm sure he understood.
I never explained it. It's just that I still call my real daddy Daddy. I talk to him at night. I was only 6 when I drowned in that accident. But I still remember him real good.
Sure you do.
I was mad at Mommy for marrying Mr. Sterling.
That's only natural, dear.
But sometimes I don't think she misses either one of them. Daddy or Mr. Sterling.
You know, Jessie, your mother, she's kind of a special person.
I know. She's very smart and pretty.
She has some wonderful qualities.
She does everything for me.
She does a lot for you, but she doesn't always feel things like maybe she should.
What do you mean?
It's hard to explain. She was pampered a lot. There were 4 of us, you know, but she was the first and the favorite. Your grandparents, rest their souls, gave her everything. And why not? She was so pretty, so perfect.
She always got her way, didn't she?
How did you know that?
'Cause she still does.
Jessie, I always kind of looked after your mother, protected her.
What do you mean, Aunt Beth?
It's just, as you grow older, try to understand. Try to forgive her if she seems, well...
Cold.
Just remember, in her way, she loves you very much.
Am I interrupting?
No, not at all. Just girl talk.
Isn't that sweet? But not as sweet as chocolate cake. Anybody interested?
Is Mark here? I thought I heard his car.
Right downstairs.
So, what do you think?
Yeah.
Mark and chocolate cake. That's a combo few girls could resist.
There's my girl. Well, come on. You okay, Angel?
Sure.
Your mom told me about today. It's awful rough.
I'm fine, Mark. Really.
Step into my office. Angel, if you need somebody to talk to...
Mark, I'm fine. Really.
You know, when I was 10, my Boy Scout leader died. He was killed in a car accident. And I didn't have a dad around. He and my mom were divorced. And that scout troop leader kind of became a surrogate father to me. Do you know what that means?
Kind of took place of your real dad.
That's right. Anyway, when he died, I felt empty. And then I started to feel afraid.
Afraid?
Mm-hmm. See, for the first time, I started to think about dying. And I had trouble sleeping. And I had nightmares. And for the first time, I realized that nobody lives forever.
Mark was so sweet. But I'd known about people dying for a long time.
Anyway, if you ever have any trouble like that, I just want you to know I'm here for you.
Who's for dessert?
I am.
Mommy met Mark at a country club dance. He had his own business, some kind of mail order thing. Mommy said he moved here to get away from the urban blight where he used to live.
Whoa, kill me with kindness.
I'll just have the ice cream.
Oh, what is wrong with me? You're allergic to chocolate. How about some strawberry compote on that ice cream?
Ooh, that does sound good.
There's a jar in the fridge.
Those look pretty with that.
Thank you, honey.
Maybe it wasn't right so soon after Mr. Sterling died. But I hope Mommy would marry Mark. I didn't think it would be so hard calling him Daddy.
Oh, here. Let me have a crack at that. Criminy.
Here.
Well, your mommy's pretty strong for a girl.
Now, there's a sexist remark.
I've seen her do that with ketchup bottles, pickle jars, lots of times.
Remind me not to cross you.
Don't cross me.
What's the matter? Little Miss Perfect get called to the principal's office?
You mind your own business.
There's some policemen waiting to talk to you.
What?
Maybe they want to ask you what your mama was doing in Miss Withers' room yesterday.
Everybody knows what my mother was doing in Mrs. Withers' room. She found the body.
Maybe I seen your mama go in there and stay for a good long while. Maybe I heard them talking in there.
You don't know anything.
I see everything that goes on around this place. Nothing gets past these eagle eyes.
You're a liar, and my minister says liars go to hell.
Don't you go talking to me like that. I'm like a teacher. You can't talk to me.
Get back to your work. Jessica Ann, move along.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Jessica Ann. You remember me? I'm Lieutenant March. Now, Mrs. Evans has given us permission to use her office. Could we talk for a while?
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Come on. Jessica Ann, why did your mother want to speak to Mrs. Withers yesterday?
They had a conference.
Oh, yes. The parent-teachers conference.
Yes, sir.
No, you don't have to call me sir, Jessica Ann. Candy?
Mommy says not to take candy from strangers.
I don't want us to be strangers. I want us to be friends.
Friend or stranger, candy rots your teeth, Mommy says.
Maybe, mommies don't always know best. Jessica Ann, do you know how your teacher died?
Fell off a ladder.
Oh, yeah, she fell off a ladder, yes. But Jessica Ann, your teacher died of a broken neck.
When she fell off the ladder.
Now, we have a man called a medical examiner. And he says that's not the way it happened. He says it's very likely that a pair of hands did it. Now, there was something missing from Mrs. Withers' desk.
Could I please go? My stomach hurts.
It was a plaque for the most outstanding student of the year, which I understand that you won last year.
Yes, sir.
There's that sir again. Now, Mrs. Withers told a lot of her friends that your mother called up complaining that you didn't win it this year.
She thought I deserved to win.
I'm sure you did. But the mother of the boy who won the plaque, Eduardo, yes? Mrs. Melendez. I'm sure she'd love to have that plaque. It'd mean a lot to her. Now, if you found that plaque, would you tell me?
Why would I find it?
Well, I don't know. Maybe your mother took it off the desk when she was leaving the classroom.
Who said she did?
Nobody.
And anyway, that wouldn't prove anything.
Who said anything about proving anything, Jessica Ann?
I think if you have any more questions for me, Lieutenant March, you should talk to my mother first.
Jessica Ann.
Jasper bought a newspaper for 10 cents more than a fourth of a dollar, a card for 5 cents less than half of a dollar, and a magazine.
If that policeman had anything else to say, I didn't hear it. I didn't hear anything any of my friends said either, or the substitute teacher. I had a lot of thoughts too, but I try not to listen to them either.
Remember.
How was school today, dear?
Okay.
Anything special happen?
I talked to that policeman.
What policeman? Lieutenant March?
He just asked some questions.
About what, dear?
Mrs. Withers, you know, nothing special. I just hope he doesn't talk to Miss Jones.
Who?
That awful janitor. She was teasing me, saying terrible things.
Huh. Like what, dear?
That you were in Mrs. Wither's room. A long time talking to her.
She's just a stupid woman in a menial job. Ignore her. Oh, how I hate this instant. We're out of everything in this house. I think I may make a run to the store and get some fresh ground.
Can I come along?
Why don't you just stay here and finish your homework, and maybe later we can watch a video.
Great.
I'll swing by Video Factory and pick up, how about Beauty and the Beast again?
Excellent.
You were bothering my daughter today.
I wasn't bothering nobody. You got permission to be in here after hours?
I'm a taxpayer. I don't need your permission.
Well, you just get along about your business.
What were you saying to my daughter today?
Oh, you mean that I seen you in there in Miss Wither's room yesterday? That I heard you two talking in there?
Is that what you told the police?
I didn't tell the police nothing.
I want you to stay away from my daughter.
And the police? Maybe I should go see him. Maybe I'd get a big old horse laugh out of a fine lady like you putting up with all that bullshit. You'd make the papers, and not the society page this time.
I won't have you bothering her or embarrassing me.
Maybe you should make it worth my while. I know you didn't do nothing. Fine lady like you. But maybe it'd be worth your while. God damn fuse. Fix those little assholes again. Oh! Better go get those lights fixed. No shit, Sherlock.
My mind was full of awful thoughts. Did Mr. Sterling really die of that heart attack? What really happened that afternoon when Mommy and Daddy went boating?
Jessica Ann. Oh, I didn't mean to startle you, honey. I'm sorry I took so long. I ran into an old friend at the store. Ready for Chinese and a movie?
Great.
Class, please. I have something very important to say to you. Let's all settle down now. Class, please! Mrs. Evans has something to say to you.
People, I'm sorry to have to tell you that there has been another tragedy here at McKinley. Our janitor, Miss Jones, died last night in an unfortunate accident.
See, I told you. She a fraud. Quiet!
It was my fault, wasn't it? I had told Mommy about Miss Jones, and now Miss Jones is dead. Mrs. Evans said that she was arranging for counselors to help any of us who might be troubled by what had happened at McKinley lately. If I told the counselors that my mommy maybe killed my daddy and Mr. Sterling for their money,
Your people are beginning to drop like
what advice would they have?
Jessica Ann, do you have anything to tell me?
No, sir. I might be wrong. And even if I wasn't, she was my mommy. But then I thought about Daddy and Mr. Sterling. And I thought of somebody else I cared for who might be in danger.
Well, we shouldn't be any later than midnight.
Stay out as long as you like. Enjoy yourselves.
You are so sweet to do this, Beth. I owe you one.
I stopped keeping track a long time ago.
Goodbye, Angel.
Bye.
Jessie, is something wrong?
Oh, no, nothing.
You do know, don't you, that there's nothing you can't talk to me about? Is it what happened at school last week? Your teacher, that janitor?
Oh, can we watch Seinfeld? Mommy doesn't like comedies, but I do.
Have you noticed anything odd about Jessica Ann lately?
Not really.
I have. For the last week or so, she's been avoiding me. Snubbing me, even.
Oh, I never noticed that.
You don't think she's been kind of moody?
Well, maybe she's jealous.
What does that mean?
I think she has a little girl crush on you, mister.
What?
What's been added around the Sterling house this last week or so?
Oh,
You've been staying over occasionally, right?
right.
Selling insurance was a way to pay the rent. Called on a client, you sure looked heaven sent.
Don't be surprised to see me here. This is where all the dicks hang out.
March, are you out of your mind talking to me here?
Why, Mrs. Sterling can't find us here. Unless you two kids have something kinky in mind. Yeah. I go to all these charity balls. What can I tell you? My wife is loaded.
Yeah, well, so are you. Look, I don't know any more today than I did yesterday, and you are gonna blow my damn cover if you keep this up.
This woman has killed 2 people in 2 days.
We don't know that.
Don't we, Mr. Consolidated Life? What? The longer you stay on the job, the bigger the paycheck, or is little mommy a good lay? Get your hands off me. Get them off now. Now.
Look, I do not work for you. Just stay away. If I get anything.
I already know you're getting something. But you know what I wonder? If you know the kind of game you're playing and who you're playing it with. There's a little child involved. Huh?
What the hell is wrong with you? Never beat me at night. Has everybody gone crazy on this thing? I swear I'll take a hammer to the beeping thing. No, if you don't contact me at all, if you need to get in touch with me, do it through that cop. Because I'm spending too much time with her now, and you will blow my cover.
Yes?
Did I wake you, Angel?
No.
Can I come in for a second?
Okay.
What is it, Angel?
What's what?
What's wrong?
Nothing.
You've barely spoken to me for days. You know you're number one on my personal chart, don't you?
No.
Is it something I said? Is it something I did? Is it because I've been sleeping over? Don't you think I'd make a good daddy? Angel.
I wanted to chase you away.
You wanted to chase me away? Why on earth would you want to chase me away?
Because you would make a good daddy. And I don't want you to die. I'm having bad thoughts.
What bad thoughts, Angel?
That Mommy killed Miss Jones. And Mrs. Withers. And maybe even Mr. Sterling. And Daddy. For their money. And you have money too.
How grown up can you be, Jessica Ann?
I don't know. Real grown up, I hope, if I have to.
Good. Because I want to level with you about something. There's something that may make you mad at me.
Why, Mark?
You heard me talking downstairs, didn't you, Jessica Ann? On the phone. See, I haven't been completely honest with you, Jessica Ann. And in fact, I've lied to you.
What?
My real name is Mark. But it's not Mark Jeffries. I'm what they call an investigator. I work for an insurance company. It's the company that's looking into Mr. Sterling's death.
But you and Mommy.
That wasn't very nice, but it wasn't part of any plan. It just sort of happened.
Do you love her?
Well, your mommy's a very beautiful woman and charming.
Do you love her?
No. Jessica Ann, what I did wasn't very nice, but I had to get close to your mommy.
You sure did.
I had to get the truth. Jessica Ann, I think your mommy is a murderer. But with your help...
My help?
Actually, your mommy is the one who needs the help. See, if she's doing these things, and we both think she is, then she's a sick person. And she needs to be stopped. And she needs to be helped.
Helped?
If you could just think back and tell me some of the things you've seen, then we might be able to...
Close your eyes, dear.
I couldn't remember ever seeing Mommy cry before. She seemed to cry at Daddy's funeral. And Mrs. Sterling's, but I'm pretty sure she was faking. Not this time. I hope she wasn't sad because she was thinking of doing something bad to me, too.
We have to call the police now, dear.
Yes, Mommy.
And when they come, we have to stick together. Do you understand, dear?
I'm not sure.
We have to tell them things that fit together, like a puzzle fits together. Do you understand, dear?
Yes, Mommy.
Mark, bad things to Mommy tonight. Bedroom things that I didn't want him to do. You do understand?
I think so.
And when Mommy heard Mark in your bedroom, she was afraid he might be trying to do those same bad things to you.
But he didn't.
That doesn't matter. And you don't have to say he did either.
I'm glad, Mommy.
Because I don't want you to lie. And all those things Mark told you about being an investigator for an insurance company, forget them. He never said those things.
Oh. Okay, Mommy.
Because if you tell, it would get Mommy in a lot of trouble. And we don't want that, do we?
No, Mommy.
Who's your best friend?
You are, Mommy.
Who loves you more than anything on God's green earth?
You do, Mommy.
Good girl. Here, baby. Okay. Here, baby.
Please help! Please hurry! We need an ambulance! Oh, he was molesting my daughter! I shot him! Yeah, shot him! I shot him!
There were a lot of people in the house almost all night.
Thank you, honey. That's a nice little girl.
Mark looked like a ghost. Lieutenant March said I couldn't use my bedroom tonight, and maybe not for a while after that. That was okay. I didn't want to sleep in there anyway.
You don't have to tell me if you don't want to.
Nothing to tell. Mommy thought Mark was going to do something bad to me, so she protected me. Lieutenant March talked to Mommy for a long time. Most of the time, I couldn't hear what they were saying. But sometimes it was easy to hear.
Am I under arrest?
No, you are not under arrest. And yes, you should contact your lawyer.
More coffee, Lieutenant?
Yeah. Your sister's quite a woman.
You don't believe her, do you?
Do you?
Well, of course I believe her. She's my sister.
Yeah. And Jeffrey Dahmer was somebody's brother.
That was uncalled for.
Is it? I suppose it is. It's been a long night. I'll talk to Jessica Ann in the morning.
Thank you for that much anyway.
Maybe she should stay with you tonight.
That isn't my decision.
Maybe it should be. Thanks for the coffee.
You aren't really asleep, are you?
No.
What you told me, is that what really happened, Jessica Ann?
Mommy thought Mark was going to do something bad to me, so she protected me.
You love your mommy, don't you?
Yeah,
I love her too.
I know.
But you're afraid of her, aren't you?
Sure. Every kid's afraid of their parents.
Beth. Maybe you'd better go now.
Maybe I should take Jessica Ann tonight.
I think you've done more than enough already, Beth.
I can stay if you like.
We appreciate your concern, but we've been through a lot of tragedy together, Jessica Ann and I, and we will get through tonight just fine. Won't we, dear?
Yes, Mommy.
You take the couch, I'll take the chair. It'll be just like camping out.
The next afternoon, Lieutenant March and some other people questioned both me and Mommy, together and separate. Sometimes, Mommy's lawyer, Mr. Eckhart, wouldn't let Mommy answer a question.
So, you didn't know the man you shared your bed with was investigating you?
Absolutely not.
Hasn't that been established, Lieutenant?
I suppose so. But we've also established that the men she slept with had a bad habit of dying.
That's inappropriate, Lieutenant.
Conveniently dying, that is.
Lieutenant.
How much money did you inherit when your first husband died, Mrs. Sterling?
How much money did your wife inherit when her parents died? And where were you at the time?
I didn't lie. Not exactly. Nobody asked if I knew Mark was an investigator.
Jessica Ann, did Mark Patterson or Jeffries, as you knew him, did he ever make an advance toward you of a sexual nature?
You know, there really should be a representative from child welfare if you're going to keep on with...
I am trying to confirm your client's story, okay? Now, I apologize for asking Jessica Ann, but did he?
No, but Mommy thought so.
Oh, really? Why?
Because he was in my bedroom, in his pajamas, in the middle of the night.
I think that's quite enough. Good afternoon.
Do they have enough to hold me?
Not yet.
What do you mean, not yet?
I don't think this thing is going to let up. And looks at that lieutenant in there. This is only the start of this little shindig.
Well, thank you, Neil. I'm sure that with you in our corner, everything will be just fine.
But I got to give you this. You know what you're doing. You take care here.
We're going on vacation, dear.
Where, Mommy?
To a foreign land. It'll be a surprise.
But I have school.
School will be out in a week or so. With your grades, it won't matter.
The plaque was gone. Mommy was a lot of things, but she wasn't a fool. It's probably in the river by now. But what about my friends?
You'll make wonderful new friends. Here. Pack this suitcase with your own things.
What about my stuffed animals?
Pick your favorite. Aunt Beth will send the rest along after we get where we're going.
Okay, Mommy.
Jessica Ann.
Yes, Mommy?
Who's your best friend?
You are.
Who loves you more than anything on...
You do. I knew it wasn't a vacation. I knew we were moving. What could I do about it? Every kid knows that when your parents decide to move, the kid has no say in it. You just go where they go. You have to go where I tell you, Daddy. We drove for a long time, a couple hours. Mommy looked different. Was she frightened too?
You about ready to stop for the night, dear?
Oh, could we, Mommy? Sleeping in the car makes my tummy hurt.
We'll pull into the next vacancy we see.
We were on the outskirts of some town with lots of factories and stuff. This wasn't like the fancy hotels we usually stayed in on vacation. I thought it was a little scary. All I wanted was a nice soft bed.
Well, this isn't so bad, is it?
No, Mommy.
All right, get your jammies on. How's my angel doing?
That's what Mark used to call me.
I miss him too.
Do you, Mommy?
I'm sorry. The accident happened.
Did Mommy really believe that? Could she make herself believe that lie? Or did she just want to know if I believed it? Do you miss Daddy?
I miss Daddy most of all. You probably won't have any trouble sleeping tonight, will you?
No, Mommy. I'm really tired.
Do you know how proud I am of you? For being such a good student, such a good girl. Say your prayers, dear.
Yes, Mommy. Good night, Daddy.
She's a sick person. She has to be stopped, and she has to be helped.
Sometimes mommies have to make hard decisions. If they take Mommy away, who would look after you?
Mommy was telling me these things only because she didn't think I could hear them.
Jessica Ann! Jessica Ann!
No, Mommy, don't leave me alone.
Jessica Ann, open the door.
No.
You just had a bad dream, dear. A nightmare. Now, open the door.
No way.
Come out and we'll go back to sleep now. We have a big day tomorrow, Jessica Ann. A lot of driving. I need my good little navigator. Open the door. Jessica Ann! Jessica Ann! Come back here this instant! Just what do you think you're doing, young lady? Shit. Stay. Now do you see why I'd never let you have a dog?
Mommy, don't. Please don't.
This hurts me more than it hurts you, dear.
Yes, Mommy.
Who loves you more than anything on God's green earth?
Jessica Ann, get away from your mother. I'm gonna do the world a favor. Come on.
Are you all right, Jess?
Yeah.
You are one brave girl.
Aunt Beth, what are you doing here?
Lieutenant March was keeping your mother under surveillance. He asked me to come along in case you needed me.
I'm glad.
It's over, Jessie. It's over.
She couldn't do it.
I know, honey.
Mommy does love me. Mommy had done a lot of bad things, but she couldn't bring herself to kill her little girl.
Why didn't you do it? She was the only one who could really testify against you. Why'd you hesitate?
For a moment there, in the moonlight, she looked like me.
Mommy,
think this is a mistake.
Not letting her see her mother, that would be a mistake.
She's a monster. Why put Jessica Ann through this?
This is Jesse's mother we're talking about, and your sister.
She tried to kill that little girl.
I know, she's a sick woman. Still, if I had my way, they wouldn't be doing this.
It's what they do to rabid dogs.
Beth, your sister dies this afternoon. She wants to say goodbye to her daughter and you. Are you going to deny her that? Beth, look at me. The woman I married wasn't cruel. In fact, the woman I married is a sucker for sad movies. Now, think about where we are.
You're right. You're always right.
Oh, think about where we are.
If you want to stay.
Nah, I'm not hungry. I don't have to watch them kill her, do I?
No, of course not.
Good. It's not up to that.
It won't hurt, honey. They just give her a shot.
Nothing is worse than a shot.
I appreciate your efforts on my client's behalf, Dr. Price.
With this new antipsychotic drug, Mrs. Sterling could lead a normal, productive life.
Look, we're dealing with a reactionary lame duck governor. He doesn't want to be remembered as the guy who reprieved a killer mommy.
A month from now, we could be dealing with a whole new administration. Eckhart, if we could just buy some time.
Time for her runs out in about 1 hour. Gotta hand it to her. Not a crack in that mask of hers, even now.
Don't kid yourself. You know, her sister hasn't let her see that little girl in months. Her daughter means everything to Mrs. Sterling.
Why blame the sister? That child's mother saw her kill a man right in front of her.
Oh, is this the way you tried to turn the governor around?
Don't kid yourself. Without Jessica Ann's testimony, Mommy would have walked. They didn't even charge her for the other murders.
You think she killed him? 2 husbands? The teacher, the one who denied her daughter the Outstanding Student Award, and a janitor?
Don't ask me to betray my client, and I won't ask you to betray yours.
Eckhart, if she's the monster everybody says she is, then why do we both care about what happens to her?
Because she's the damnedest case either one of us ever had.
Well, looks like the governor didn't name Mrs. Sterling Mother of the Year.
Nobody likes a sore winner, Marsh. You really relish seeing a woman die?
Yes. This one I do.
She in chamber?
No, she's in visitation. Saying goodbye to her daughter. Very touching scene, my lieutenant. Between a mother and the child she tried to strangle.
Oh, stop by my office, Anderson. You too, March. I'll get both you guys in group therapy. There's no charge.
I know there's nothing I can say to make it up to either of you. But I've had a lot of time to think. And when I look back on my life, I see 2 people that mean a lot to me. Beth, you were always there. Thank you. Jessica Ann. I know you think I was going to hurt you.
It didn't hurt me much.
When I saw your face in the moonlight, I couldn't hurt you. I could never hurt you. You're a part of me.
I know, Mommy.
And I'm a part of you. And I still will be. Even if I'm gone.
I know, Mommy. I know.
It's time. I'm sorry.
Who's your best friend?
You are, Mommy.
Who loves you more than anything on God's green earth?
Your Mommy.
That's right. That's right. Don't ever forget it.
I won't, Mommy.
Let's go. Paul.
Yes?
I know I haven't been very warm to you.
Well, why should you be? I make a small fortune writing your story, then steal your sister from you?
This was your doing today, wasn't it? Talking Beth into letting me say goodbye.
Yes.
Thank you for that.
Oh, hell, it'll make a great scene if I write the sequel.
Looks like a short sequel.
Come on.
What did she say to you?
Goodbye.
Are they gonna kill her in there?
Oh, no, honey. They take her to another room called the lethal injection chamber. Different states do it different ways. Do you know what a drip is?
Yeah, him.
You have a point. Anyway, in some states, they put an IV in the person's arm, and then in the hanging plastic bag, they put,
Listen. What do they do in this state?
well, it's like you said, they give her a shot. And you're right, I'm sure it hurts, like all shots hurt. Then she goes to sleep.
And never wakes up.
Yes.
I know she did bad things. Oh, I know she did bad things, but I don't want her to die.
I know you don't, honey.
I prayed and prayed they wouldn't kill her. I prayed and prayed. Do you think God heard?
I'm sure he heard.
But did he listen?
Neil,
Anything I can do for you?
the envelope
Yeah.
I gave you. It's a list of safe deposit boxes. Put everything into a trust fund for Jessica Ann.
Done.
In this state, you have the right to have your personal physician present. You want me to?
Oh. No, John. I don't want you to see this. Thank you for what you attempted to do. Both of you.
I understand you declined the chaplain.
I'm at peace with myself.
There's more than I can say.
I'm a Baptist, but thanks.
The warden has to read something. Official.
Mrs. Sterling. In the name of the people and the governor of this state, we carry out sentence on this day of May 17th for the capital crime of murder. May God have mercy on your soul.
And yours. You don't mind my saying so, you seem a little bit nervous.
This will be over quickly. Don't make it any harder on yourself than it has to be.
This is your first time.
Please.
Mind you. Afraid of infection?
Please, I prefer we not talk.
Doctor, a moment, please. Please. I need to pray. I have to pray.
All right.
Just unstrap my hands so I can fold my hands and bow my head and pray properly.
It's
please,
impossible.
please, doctor, I have to pray. I need to pray. Don't send me into darkness without the light of God to guide me.
I just can't.
Doctor, tonight when you try to go to sleep, remember me, Doctor. Remember the woman you murdered, whose pitiful last request you refused. I'm going to need a chauffeur. Any volunteers?
You're not walking out of here. It's not going to happen.
The boys at med school are going to have a familiar cadaver.
Don't do this.
Neil, I think from here on out, I'll handle my own defense. Dr. Price, you up for driving?
Right. Mrs. Starling? Mrs. Sterling?
Don't just stand there! She needs immediate attention! What's wrong?
You okay?
never better. Well, looks like your client bought herself a brief after all, Mr. Eckert.
You know the law, Lieutenant.
Can't execute a prisoner until and unless they're perfectly healthy. Would be civilized.
This is just a local to make the insertion of the implant itself painless.
Will there be a scar, Doctor?
A tiny one. And a bit of a bump on your forearm where the flexible silicone rod is tucked under the skin. Now you understand your medication will be released continuously in a small, measured dose. It's kind of like a time-release cold capsule.
Will I still be me?
You're still you.
New and improved. Like a laundry detergent.
Your violent behavior has a biochemical basis. The antipsychotic drug short circuits your aggressive impulses.
Oh, I've always liked designer clothing. Now I'll have a designer brain. My wardrobe will be complete.
You had a choice. Lethal injection or that implant in your arm. And you're still very much a trial case, a social experiment.
A guinea pig.
A live one. Look, if this doesn't work, or if you get cute and remove that implant, your next shot will be back at state prison, or from that police sergeant's gun.
Is it my fault his friend Lieutenant March had a stroke?
After the stress of your attempted jailbreak, Sergeant Anderson certainly thinks so, yes.
John, don't think I'm ungrateful. I know what you've done for me. You saved my life.
Do you have any questions about how the implant's going to work?
Well, I'm going to have a better sense of right and wrong. You know, no man's ever thought I needed implants before.
I can believe that. But you will have more normal emotional responses.
Like you?
Yes. And you have the address of that halfway house?
What about my daughter? How often can I see my daughter?
You can't.
What?
I was hoping that the implant would have more time to mellow
What do
you
you
out.
mean I can't see my daughter? She's my daughter.
Your sister got a court order. It's a restraining order. You're not to see Jessica Ann. Look, I'm sorry, darling. Maybe in time we can turn this around. I don't know. Talk to your attorney. Are you all right?
I think so.
Are you crying?
Call us, Sands Live, where your opinions count. And here's the First Lady of Daytime Talk, Paula Sands.
Thank you, Brad, studio audience. Today on the show, we have a serious, even troubling topic. I'm sure you all remember the so-called killer mommy case that captured so much attention not long ago. Well, yesterday, the woman convicted of murdering her lover when she discovered he was an insurance investigator looking into the mysterious death of her husband, the woman who murdered her lover in front of her 11-year-old daughter, a woman who police claim, though it was never proven, tried to murder her own little girl to silence her as a witness. That woman, that mother, was released yesterday. We have with us today, as our guest, Jolene Jones, the sister of one of Mrs. Sterling's alleged victims, a janitor at McKinley School who died of electrocution. Along with Ms. Jones, Paul Conway is also here. He is the author of numerous successful true crime books, including Conversations with Killers, True Stories of Murder for Hire, and of course, his bestseller, this one right here, 16 weeks on the bestseller list, The Mommy Murders. Mr. Conway, it's nice to have you here today.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
You are here not so much as an expert on this case today, but as a representative of Mrs. Sterling's family. You are indeed married to the sister of this convicted killer.
Yes, that's correct. I met the entire family while I was doing research on this case. And my book, which just came out in paperback, by the way, tries to deal compassionately with this tragedy.
I'll tell you about tragedy, you candy. What's tragic is my sister getting her fried.
Thank God for 7-second delay. Thank the FCC. This is great television.
Excuse me, Mrs. Sterling was never charged for that offense.
But your book indicates her probable guilt.
Probable my ass. That psycho bitch is walking the streets and my sister is 6 feet fucking under.
Wait a second. Wait a second. If your sister was indeed murdered and not killed in an unfortunate accident, as the coroner ruled, well, then she was a blackmailer who was...
Oh, wait a second. What are you saying? That she got what was coming to her? You lousy piece of New York shit. You are making piles of money off of my poor dead sister. You're getting rich off of other people's tragedies.
I told you we weren't going to watch that.
Maybe you're not interested, but I wanted to see Paul.
He didn't want you watching either, did he? You heard him say things might get out of hand.
That's why I wanted to watch it.
I won't have you talking to me in that tone.
You're not my mother.
No, but I never tried to kill you either. I'm sorry.
It's okay. But I'm not a little kid. I have a right to know what people are saying about me. And Mommy.
And there's something else you have a right to know. It's what the court thinks about you and your mommy.
What do you mean?
The court has decided that you and your mother shouldn't have any contact for a while. At least not until they're sure she's better.
I can't even see my own mother?
Do you want to?
I don't know.
That's a healthy attitude, Jessie.
It should be up to me, not some judge.
I'm your guardian now, Jessie. Your legal parent, and frankly, it's up to me.
If I wanted to see Mommy or talk to her, you'd stop me?
When you're 18, you can decide for yourself if you want a relationship with the woman who killed your father and stepfather. As long as you're my responsibility, I can't allow you near her.
Great, 2 psycho moms.
Getting settled?
Yes.
Who checked you in, Mary?
Why, yes.
I look familiar to you, don't I?
Actually, you do. I'm sorry. It's this medication. I'm not quite myself.
I'm Mrs. Evans. I used to be your daughter's principal over at McKinley.
Oh.
A lovely child.
Of course. Mrs. Evans. How silly of me.
I retired at the end of last school year, and now I'm helping out here at the halfway house.
Good for you.
Yes, isn't it? I wanted to welcome you and to let you know that I'll be watching you.
Watching?
Mrs. Withers, the teacher. She was a wonderful woman and one of my best friends.
That was an accident.
I know, dear, you're innocent, like OJ. I just wanted you to know that it would give me the greatest satisfaction to see you back on death row where you belong. Good afternoon.
I think you're dead wrong about this bet.
I won't have Jesse anywhere near that woman.
Personally, I think it would be good for both of them. They both have a lot of healing to do.
You're not the one who walked away from that little girl and left her in the care of a sociopath.
Well, honey, there was nothing you could do. You had no legal right to intervene.
I had a moral responsibility. I knew my sister was potentially dangerous, and yet I left that child in harm's way because I was too afraid to stand up to her. Well, I'm not afraid now.
I don't want to argue about this. I'm just expressing an opinion. You know, I'm Jessica Ann's legal guardian, too.
I know. I'm sorry.
John, you okay?
I'll tell you, for a beginner, she's really very good. She's got a lot of poise.
I don't know if this is so good for her.
What, are you crazy?
Every day she comes here to practice. She's obsessed.
Some obsessions can be healthy. I, for example, am obsessed with you.
You about ready to go?
Can't I stay a while? Lessons don't start till 6.
Sure, we'll pick you up then.
Aren't you gonna watch me some more?
Too cold for us non-Eskimos. We'll see you at 6, honey.
You didn't talk to her.
I just watched from afar.
Well, I can't encourage you to talk to her. Much as I might personally think that's a healthy thing, to do so would be jeopardizing your outpatient status.
You mean they'll throw me back on death row?
Yes. There are a lot of people out there who want to see you fail.
Really? I hadn't noticed.
You want me to have you transferred to another halfway house?
Does a change of venue really matter in a case this notorious? No, thank you.
You know, I would do anything within my power to do for you.
Well, then help me get my daughter back.
Well, custody is out of the
No,
question.
not custody. I just want to see her, and I want to talk to her. I want Jessica Ann not to hate me. And I know Beth is saying terrible, hurtful things.
Just keep that pretty little nose clean. And who knows, in 6 months or a year?
Okay, please.
Something wrong?
I just don't, I just don't feel that way about you anymore, Doctor. Is that going to be a problem?
No. Not at all.
Got a sec, pal?
Sure, come on in. I saw you on TV today. Till Beth shut it off.
Oh, I heard. She's a little, uptight.
You think?
Do me a favor, cut her some slack, will you?
She told me I can't see Mommy, or talk to her, or anything, ever.
Ever?
Well, same as till I'm 18.
I think you're right, wanting to understand and forgive your mommy.
Really? Well, why can't we just invite her over sometime and just see how she's doing?
You miss her?
Well, she is my mother.
Someday I'll get you two back together. I promise. But until then, you have to do me a favor.
What, Paul?
You have to put up with your Aunt Beth's commandment about seeing your mother. You do that for now, and I'll work on later, okay?
Okay.
Aunt Beth knows that you love her, but she needs more from you, Jessica. She needs your respect. because she hasn't really learned to respect herself yet. Okay, we got a deal. Good night, pal.
You look so beautiful out there. So graceful.
I asked you once if I could take lessons, but you said it was too dangerous.
Your mother's made some mistakes, dear.
We're not supposed to talk.
Do you think that should be anyone's decision but ours?
No, but I don't want to get either one of us in trouble.
How are you doing in school?
Okay, I guess.
What about your last report card? Any B's?
No, just A's.
Did they give an outstanding student award?
No, they stopped doing that. I have to go. I have a private lesson.
I'm proud of you.
Excuse me. You're Mrs. Sterling, aren't you? Jessica Ann's mother?
Yes.
Do me a favor, Jessica Ann, and go practice your accents for a while.
Practice hard, dear.
Parental interest is something I encourage.
Well, I'm glad to hear that.
Normally. But I know all about you, Mrs. Sterling. And I know about the restraining order.
I just wanted to watch my little girl skate.
Jessica Ann is in training, Mrs. Sterling, for her first competition. She doesn't need this kind of pressure.
I wasn't hurting anything.
I don't want to see you in here again. If I do, I'll report you. Understood?
She's my daughter! 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 Daughter!
How long you gonna work out in here tonight anyway?
About an hour or so?
Turn the lights out yourself then.
What the hell are you doing here? Get off the ice!
Oh, you had nothing to do with this.
Why would I harm a person I barely knew?
When it comes to shopping for murder, you're something of an impulse buyer.
I hope this doesn't impede Jessica Ann's progress with her skating. She has a competition coming up, you know.
You were seen talking with her.
I was there in the afternoon, just watching.
I have witness statements, Mrs. Sterling.
I merely told Jessica Ann that we shouldn't talk, that the court didn't want us to have contact.
But you did have contact.
There was an inch of plexiglass separating us, Sergeant.
It's going to have to be reported to the court.
Don't you report all murders to the court?
I am talking about seeing your daughter.
Sergeant, a man is dead, and you're concerned about keeping a mother from her daughter? Where are your values?
And where were you at the time of the murder? Let's cut the chit-chat here, lady.
Haven't you heard? I have an implant that makes me behave.
You get an implant? I tell you what I think. I think you implanted that hockey skate in that instructor's back 37 times. That's what I think. And I think that you could use a better placed .38 caliber implant. That is what I think.
How is Lieutenant March?
He's paralyzed. Damn vegetable. Keeping company with a drool cup.
Such a lovely man. Close the door on your way out, will you, Sergeant? I treasure what little privacy I have in this place. Jesse, I have some very troubling news.
What is it?
Your skating instructor, last night...
What?
Sergeant Anderson was here and he wanted to talk to you, but I put him off.
What? Why? I'm not a baby.
I know, but you've been through so much.
Is Mommy all right?
Oh, she's all right, physically.
Did something happen to my skating instructor?
Yes.
An accident?
Not an accident. Murder.
Oh, no.
Oh, Jesse, I'm sorry. I am so sorry.
What happened?
It's too horrible.
What happened?
Multiple stab wounds with a skate.
You think Mommy did this?
You spoke to her yesterday, didn't you? At the rink?
Yeah. She was there watching. I wasn't gonna pretend she didn't exist.
Your mother had words with your skating instructor.
Not really. Just told Mommy not to come around because of the court order.
Jesse, there are witnesses.
To the murder?
No, to you two talking. To your mother screaming at...
She didn't do this.
How can you be so certain?
I just am.
She's probably going to be back in prison very soon. But in the meantime, under no circumstances are you to have any contact with her.
But Aunt Beth...
If she walks up to you, walk away. Do you understand? Walk away.
Whoa, Detective. It's a physiological impossibility that Mrs. Sterling committed that murder with that antipsychotic implant in her arm.
How do you know it is in her arm?
Because I saw her this morning. Look, this is a rod underneath the flesh. It's surgically implanted and replaced on a yearly basis. It doesn't come with a zipper.
Oh, that's cute. Why are you standing up for this woman? Huh? You ever stop to consider that maybe this isn't a matter of science or medicine? Maybe little mommy here doesn't have a chemical deficiency in her brain, but she has got a blackness in her heart.
Are you looking for a vampire to drive a stake through? This is a woman with an illness.
Yeah, I got the cure.
Well, you'd make a fine frontier marshal there, Max, just not a very good detective.
Now, what are you talking about?
The viciousness of this crime doesn't begin to match Mrs. Sterling's psychological profile.
Look, John, she commits two kinds of murders. Her calculated Black Widow-style send-offs of her wealthy husbands, and her spur-of-the-moment murders of people standing between her and what she wants.
And the skating instructor stood between her and her precious daughter.
Bingo.
You're forgetting one thing, Detective. Mrs. Sterling is not sadistic. She takes no pleasure in killing. She simply removes obstacles as cleanly as possible. And you blame her for your partner's misfortune.
You bet your ass. Listen, you stop right there. He had a stroke.
And did Mrs. Sterling force-feed him 4 packs of cigarettes a day for 40 years? Or are you just a little bit more interested in putting Mommy away than you are in finding out who's really responsible for this killing? You think?
You okay? Sure. Are you ready for the history test?
I guess.
You shouldn't listen to what kids say.
Who says I listen?
Nobody. I just thought at lunch you might have heard this kid.
What?
Just don't pay any attention to them, that's all.
Whatever.
Jessica Ann, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to scare you, honey.
You're not supposed to be here.
I had to see you.
I'm not supposed to see you. You're gonna go back to jail.
That's why we have to talk. You know, your skating instructor, that terrible accident?
It wasn't an accident. You don't accidentally get stabbed 100 times.
I didn't do it. I didn't do it. You have to believe me.
I do.
You do? Do you really?
You would have stabbed him once. Or maybe choked him.
Oh, my God. You hate me, don't you?
No, I don't hate you.
Jessica Ann, where's your next class?
First floor, west wing.
Then you better move along. You're Mrs. Sterling, aren't you? You're not supposed to be seeing your daughter.
I wouldn't do that if I were you.
So, that's your old lady, huh? What'd they do? Let out the nut house for the afternoon? Must be pretty cool having a serial mom.
Yeah. Maybe it runs in the family. Maybe I'll kill you in your sleep.
Jessica Ann. Oh, no, wait a minute. Listen, I want to talk to you for a second. I'll tell you what. You really got in that kid's face. It was good. Scored you today, huh? Hey, you want a piece of gum?
No. My mother didn't get my teeth straightened so I could ruin them.
No, don't you? No, I got this braces and stuff. Hey, listen, you remember me?
You work with Lieutenant Marge.
Yeah, well, I did till he got sick. Your mom had a hand in that one.
I'm sorry he's sick, but my mother had nothing to do with it. Excuse me,
No, wait a minute. I just want to talk to you. Just want to talk to you for a couple of seconds. A couple of questions here. Number one, have you talked to your mother lately?
You mean you didn't see us just now? Aren't you following us around, hiding behind bushes and stuff?
Well, as a matter of fact, I am. Talked to her yesterday, too, didn't you?
You know I did. At the skating rink. Mommy and my instructor got in a little tiff, but nothing Mommy would kill over.
You sure about that, Jessica?
Well, sure of one thing.
You are? What's that?
They ought to stick one of those things in your arm. You're the nut.
Smart kid.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity to tell my side.
Well, we think you've gotten a raw deal in the media, and we're here to balance that out.
And I won't have to answer any questions from them.
No. This is just a simple one-on-one interview with Paula. She's on your side. We're all on your side.
And no surprises.
The only surprise is how good it's going to feel to be vindicated.
Hello.
So nice to have you.
Very
Please
nice
have
to
a
meet
seat,
you.
please.
Thank you.
Get you all mic'd up.
It's Paula Sands Live, where your opinions count. And here's the First Lady of Daytime Talk, Paula Sands.
Thanks as always, Brad. Welcome, studio audience. We do have a remarkable guest on the show today, and I still don't know how my producer pulled this one off, but sitting right next to me is, forgive me, the killer mommy you've heard so much about. Mrs. Sterling, it must be painful to be characterized by such a cruel phrase. Tell us what it's like to be inside this media storm.
Well, I'm living a very quiet life. I'm in a halfway house.
You're in an experimental program, some kind of new medication?
Yes, yes.
I don't know if you're free to speak about this. I don't know what your attorney has advised you.
Oh, he advised me not to appear.
But there's been another murder, and we know that you are once again under investigation.
That's partly why I'm here. I am absolutely, positively, 100% innocent of that crime.
Please, audience. You can see the kind of strong feelings you engender here, and maybe you're not convincing our studio audience, Mrs. Sterling.
There's really only one person I want to convince, and it's a person who's being kept away from me. It's my daughter.
Well, I know that our audience is just dying to ask some questions of you. So, Brad, you have our first question from the studio audience.
You say you want your daughter's attention? Is that why maybe you tried to strangle her?
Mrs. Sterling, I don't know where you got that impression, but if you watch this show, this is our format. Brad, another question from the audience?
Yeah, you say you love your daughter. Well, girlfriend, you better get your stuff together before you start laying your own personal trip on her head. You hear what I'm saying, girlfriend?
I would never hurt my daughter. I love my daughter more than life itself.
People like you don't deserve to live. Lethal injection is too damn good for you. They ought to hang your snooty ass.
That really isn't a question. Mrs. Sterling, you can see the kind of strong feelings that you bring up in our audience.
I was promised that there would not be any questions from the audience.
Let's bring out our second guest for today. In fact, you've seen her before on this program. She has her own strong feelings about this subject. Jolene Jones, the sister of one of Mrs. Sterling's alleged victims.
I will not be part of this.
Hey, don't you try to crawl away, you murdering... You are going to sit here and face the f***ing music this time. Oh, come on, look at me, huh? What, are you afraid? Look at me. You killed my sister. Someday you're going to pay for it. You are going to f***ing pay.
We'll be right back after this word from our sponsor, Happy Family Dairy. Jerry.
Yes, Paula.
Jerry, did Mrs. Sterling know that she's going to take those questions from the audience and that she was appearing with Miss Jones?
Our guests don't get to dictate the terms of their appearance, Paula.
You are a liar and a heel.
Yeah, well, you're a murdering bitch.
Stay away from me.
Oh, what, you gonna fry me too?
Shut your sister up.
Listen to me, you psycho bitch. Oh, God!
How would you ladies feel about repeating this one on camera?
You're lucky I'm mellowed out.
Stand by. On in 3.
Welcome back, and a reminder that on tomorrow's show, Born Again, full-body tattooed bikers.
You need me, Jerry? Yeah. Can you see if Phil's got that memo ready? Rating book came in today. You got it. Oh, and while you're at it, can you get rid of some of this garbage? Film, noir, theater, whose idea was this?
What was the idea today, Jerry?
Ratings. I just sent Chris after the latest. You'll see.
I thought we had an understanding. No more ambushing the guests.
That woman is not a guest. She is an ambush.
Got her on the show under false pretenses. Never mind the right or wrong of that. Word gets out, I can't be trusted. We're finished.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah? You want to wait for the ratings memo?
You are a heel, Jerry. Which must come in handy the way you walk all over people. I'll be in my office.
Paula?
Everyone thinks you're a heel, Jerry. A heel for a heel.
Jerry, here's your mem. Oh.
If life was fair, I'd have it all by now. If life was fair, I wouldn't be stuck here with a hungry kid in a broken down house.
Paul Conway, please. His publisher, Joseph Pittman, suggested that I call. Yeah, sure.
If life was fair, I'd have it all by now.
Hello?
Mr. Conway, this is Jolene Jones calling. Yeah, that would be me. Listen, it's vital that I see you. No, I don't think we should discuss this on the phone, but trust me, this is a potentially lucrative venture. 8 o'clock is fine. Okay, see you then.
It just wouldn't matter that it wasn't on a silver platter. If life was fair, I'd have it all.
Not tonight.
If life was fair, I'd have wheels on my car instead of on the ones underneath my house. If life was fair, I'd have it all by now.
Honey bun, you just hit the lotto.
I just wouldn't care.
Oh, look. Witnesses saw you lose your temper. They saw you physically assault the murder victim.
I didn't assault him. I just warned him.
You choked him.
I got his attention. Well, he won't be bringing charges now, will he?
It's kind of a short fuse, isn't it? For someone who's supposedly getting the violence medicated out of her.
Sudden impulse can get the best of any of us, Sergeant. Do you know what they did to me on that television program?
Yeah, I know.
Are you going to arrest me?
No. I know enough, and anyway.
Some of the bite has gone out of your bark, Sergeant.
Look, your shrink thinks that these murders aren't your style.
What do you think?
I think that if you decided to kill this sleazeball, you wouldn't have tipped your hand in front of the studio audience. And you wouldn't have gouged his eyes out with that spiked heel either. Too messy.
If I were the person you think I am. And of course I'm not. I'm completely innocent. Never have and never would intentionally kill anyone.
Never.
I'd have made it look like an accident. I'd have made sure the falling light put his lights out. If I were the person you think I am.
You, me, and your head doctor know that this MO is all wrong for you. But it doesn't mean that you're not going to wind up taking the fall.
But I didn't do these murders.
No. You never killed anybody, remember? You're just a poor, innocent mom. Who somebody is trying to put in a very, very fancy frame.
Thank you, Mrs. Conway. You have a lovely home.
Thank you. Let me know if you need anything.
Please, sit down, Miss Jones.
Oh, no, don't be so formal. Call me Jolene, Listen, do you mind if I smoke?
Actually, yes. My wife doesn't allow smoking in this house.
Well, I would have thought maybe you were in charge around here. I mean, it was your mommy book that paid for all this,
Miss Jones, Jolene, I'm on a deadline. Out of courtesy to you and your late sister,
Oh, my late sister was trash. I mean, I think she was a les or something. Now me, well, I have more, conventional tastes.
Please, let's get to the point.
Well, the point is, reality don't count for nothing. Appearance is all. You know? Doesn't matter to me and my late sister ain't spoke since high school.
Well, why don't you tell me what does matter?
Come on, Mommy, please. Mommy, I just saw that terrible woman.
Yes, she could be the one doing this to Mommy. Dear, it means so much to me, you calling me like this. Bye, sweetheart.
I'm an author too, you know.
Really?
I wasn't lying about your publisher. Him and 5 others. They all want me.
For what?
Well, as soon as they nail your loony sister-in-law for these new murders, there's going to be room for a new mommy book on the bestseller list.
And you're going to write it?
Why don't we write it together?
Oh, I get it. With your charisma, the talk show circuit, my name next to yours on the cover.
Sequel to a bestseller. You know, I bet we'd work really well together.
You know, I just thought of something.
What's that?
My wife doesn't allow animals in this house either. You better go.
I don't need you to do this. This was just professional courtesy. Listen, do we really need that jerk? Good. I didn't think so. A ghostwriter? What do you mean, like Stephen King? Oh. Oh. All I do is talk into a tape, okay? How much do we have to pay? Really? Huh. No, I hadn't thought of that. Yeah, I guess Conway would have taken a pretty big bite, you know, in that bestseller and all. So we're better off. Well, all right, when do we start? Baby, I was born ready. Okay. Okay, bye-bye. Who needs you, you stuck-up jerk?
My wife don't allow no smoking in the house. And I bet
that ain't the only thing.
Money, 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 money.
Jessica Ann, wake up, dear. Wake up. Mommy, I'm leaving.
Leaving?
We both know that somebody's making this look like Mommy. So I have some money hidden under a new name, and I'm gonna leave the country.
Will I ever see you?
No, I want you to come with me. Mommy. Please, Jessica Ann, we can start over. Clean, fresh. A second chance. Mommy. I want you out of here, now. Beth, she's my baby. You want me to call the police myself?
Beth, I don't think you better. Ladies, let's talk. Come on. With all that's been going on, I've been listening to the police scanner in my office.
What's happened now?
Jolene Jones has been murdered.
It's my fault. I shouldn't have called you. I'm so sorry.
Oh, no. No, baby, I didn't do this. You've got to believe me.
There's a warrant out for your arrest.
What happened?
She was electrocuted.
No, I didn't do this. I swear to God, I didn't do this. I haven't been committing these murders. I'm innocent. Please, you have to believe me.
Well, I think it's time we talk to your attorney. Do you remember his home telephone number?
It's his machine. Should I leave a message? Can I have him call me here? Neil, you know who this is. It's urgent that we talk. I'm at my sister's. Thank you. Can I use the spare bedroom?
What? They're gone.
Gone?
No, I don't think the girl's in any danger at all. Now, listen, Mrs. Conway. Please. Now, we both know she loves this little girl. She's not going to do anything to her. I'm going to put an APB out on both of them. I know that. Last time she tried to leave the country, I know that. No, please! Listen to me. I need you to do something for me. You listening?
Yes. Yes. A photo. Yes, Sergeant. I'll be right down. He needs a photo of Jessica Ann to distribute. He already has them of my sister.
Here, you go. I'll watch the phone. Bye, honey.
I've got the brat.
You know what you've got to do.
I want more.
More what?
More, what do you think? Money, dickweed. You want the kid dead. I want a percentage.
A percentage?
You're gonna make a bundle off of this little sequel you plotted. I'm the one doing the scut work. I want it in writing. A piece of the book, the movie. Who knows? Maybe they'll do a CD-ROM. Mommy chasing baby around with a butcher knife.
You want a murder contract in writing? Are you completely out of your mind?
I'm a consultant. I want it in writing, and I want it now.
Where are you?
Where we made the first money drop, remember? Won't take you half an hour. At least it better not.
doing here? Beth's out looking for you. We thought you took Jessica in. The police are looking for you.
I heard you on the phone. I know you've been framing me. I'd have known a lot sooner if it hadn't been for this.
You don't understand. I'm involved in a sting operation. Let me explain.
I wish I had time to listen. You really are an imaginative writer. But I have to help my daughter.
This isn't the ending I had in mind. But it'll work.
You know, you may find it harder to actually kill someone than to just write about it or hire it done. It takes a special kind of person to take a life. Don't you know the sequel is never as good as the original?
Thanks for running. I wondered if killing a kid would kind of get to me. But you causing me this much trouble helps. Your uncle said I should strangle you to make it look more like your mommy did it. It's just not my style.
Oh, please.
Why don't you pick on somebody your own size?
No, Mommy! Ow!
know. Imitation is the sincerest form of plagiarism.
I'm walking out of here. You keep your distance. Maybe the kid keeps breathing.
You let her go, and I'll let you go. I have nothing against you.
Nothing against me?
Mommy!
I know you're just a working girl. By the way, you're out of a job. I'm afraid I just punched your meal ticket. Ow.
Who's your best friend?
You are.
Who loves you more than anything on God's green earth?
You too.
Yeah, her name was Glenna Cole. Conway interviewed her for his contract killer book.
That's nice.
Nice.
Well, I'm happy for you, Sergeant. Tying up these loose ends.
How's your sister doing?
She's home, but under sedation. Such an awful shock. I'm going to be moving in shortly. And she thinks she's well enough to attend Jessica Ann's skating competition.
Is your new implant in place?
Yes. No need to worry.
I guess I owe you an apology. But I should tell you, though, that even your doctor admitted something to me.
Really?
Oh, yeah. That last killing? Jolene Jones? That one really did fit your M.O.
Now, I thought you had cleared all those murders off the books.
Yeah, we did. So I guess only Jolene Jones herself can identify her killer, huh?
It's a pity you can't ask her. I was afraid they were going to give first place to that little Asian girl just to be politically correct. They're lucky they did the right thing.
Give you the free. Hey, if I get you, but she won't think
bring you back down. Little-eyed princess, frailest as she goes, laid shining silver over those that got froze. Little-eyed princess, she's my little-eyed princess. She's my little-eyed princess. My little-eyed princess.
If life was fair, I'd have it all by now. If life was fair, I wouldn't shed a tear for the things I did but got through somehow. If life was fair, I'd have it all by now. We had a fixer-upper in a nice neighborhood, close to shopping and the schools were good. He tried to do what other men couldn't. He never realized that love him I wouldn't. If life was fair, he'd have it all by now.
If life was fair, if life was fair,
I just wouldn't care.
if life was fair, if life was fair.
It just wouldn't matter that it wasn't on a silver platter. If life was fair, I'd have it all by now. If life was fair, I'd have wheels on my car instead of on the ones underneath my house. If life was fair, I'd have it all by now.
If life was fair, if life was fair.
I just wouldn't care.
If life was fair, if life was fair.
It just wouldn't matter that it wasn't on a silver platter.
New revelations on the nation. Blood recitation, total stimulation. Well, the boy lost the boy, and he's beginning to quiver. Your mind should sing, your mind starts to shiver. Got that old world single in your acting down the cellar. Got that out. Dance